Welcome to Connect It with Kim. I'm Kim McDonald, connecting you to the stories of the change agents of our world. You change, they change. Hi, I'm here with Dawna Mueller, and we are both at the Mind Valley University in this beautiful city of Tallinn, Estonia, taping this before we have our little breakfast together. And she was only here for a couple of days. And in true form, us women unite so easily and connect so easily. I met Dawna online in another group, and she's very inspiring. She has inspiring stories. And when she came to Tallinn, I said, oh, you can stay with me. She stayed with me for the last 2 nights, and it's like we've been best friends for years. So I wanted to capture some of her essence on video for you, to show you that you can be the change for your life and rise up to do what you're passionate about, which then, if it's coming from a space of love and above, it will change the world. So, Dawna, big shoes to fill. Changing the world, but
Kim.
You're doing it.
Thank you. And it's so great to see you in person. We have known each other, I think, for maybe 4 months as a result of our online connection. And it's so true that when we have a connection with somebody, it doesn't have to be in person, because when I met you for the first time less than 48 hours ago, we had such a deep connection. And I think that this is what we're all searching for in life: connection with others, with a community, with a tribe, and also for ourselves. And that's what I would like to talk about with you is because I'm now living my life with passion and purpose. But it wasn't always like this for me. For the last 20 years, I was raising children and in a marriage where I was predominantly focused on helping my husband accelerate, my ex-husband now, but helping him accelerate his career. And I was in that sandwich generation of also caring for my sick mother, who has subsequently passed away. She passed away 3 years ago. But I was trained as a lawyer. I mean, a long time ago when I was a young adult, I had so many dreams and visions and aspirations for myself, as we all do. And we all, hopefully have the opportunity at some point to get on a trajectory that we think is going to be our future. And we have all kinds of dreams and goals. And then somehow life happens and we get off the path that we've planned for ourselves. And the whole family constellation, as beautiful as it is extremely challenging, because I never thought that I would be the woman who gave up everything for love, especially when I was in law school. I'm a feminist, and I'm strong and powerful and articulate, and I really thought that I would have it all together for myself in my own life. But then, you get in, I moved to a different country. I'm from Canada, I'm from Vancouver. I fell in love with my ex-husband, who's German, and I moved to Switzerland. So I gave up everything for love, which it was wonderful at the time, and I certainly don't regret it. And would I do it again? Of course, because I had my children, and I'm here now today with you in Tallinn. And it's all of the result of the experiences that we have. But what I think is really important is that we look at all of the experiences that we have in our life, and we realize that that is part of the journey. So 3 years ago, I came to a crossroads in my life, as you very well know, where my mother died, my marriage ended, my dog even died of 17 years. So it was kind of like these 3 things happened.
Perfect storm. I call it the perfect storm to move you in the direction of your soul.
That's exactly what it was. And I basically, for 48 hours, I sat very still in deep grief. But I always go into the nature. I'll just say quickly before we talk about this a little bit later, but I'm a landscape photographer now, and I love the nature. So I go always into the nature, which is my source, to get the answers that I need. So I spent about 48 hours just crying and being in the nature to really sit with myself in a calm, quiet space to receive some answers, because that's just how I get my answers, is to be calm and to be still.
It's how we all get our answers when we go inward. It's not out there that we find the answers, it's in here.
Exactly.
And you have to get calm and centered and grounded. And in nature, we ground. When we put our feet on the earth, we ground, because all of this electronic buzz around us is not a healthy environment to really get clear. And so by going inward and meditating on what it is you need to get the answers to, you find them.
Absolutely. I mean, nature is the source, and nature gives you energy, whereas urban environments, which, you know, the concrete jungle, that actually physically takes energy from you. So I sat for 48 hours and I thought, you know, what am I going to do with my life? Because you know, the questions were huge. I could do anything. I could basically color my canvas of my new life any color I wanted.
You could rewrite your story.
I could rewrite my story. I could paint that new canvas any color that I wanted. And I looked at it as an amazing opportunity to live the next half of my life in any way that I wanted. So it was amazing. I mean, you know, in the deep grief that I was in, which was really significant, probably one of the deepest valleys of my life, I was able to see some light. I was able to see the possibilities of light. And I was 55 years old at the time. And I decided, you know what, I've been a hobby photographer for 30 years. I love photography, and why don't I do this? Why don't I completely immerse myself? And I decided to study photography full-time. So I went to school in Switzerland in the German language, which I do speak now, but it was really intense. And I went for 1 year full-time, and it was magical. I love to be a student. I'm a student of life. I love the whole process of learning and expanding my mind. And it was amazing. And what that did for me was it made me realize that this passion of photography that I have, I could actually take that and build a whole new life and build a career. And also one of the things that I found was most amazing is when we're on the right path, the acceleration rate is huge. It is significant.
Yes, I had no idea until she just said this, that at 55 she started this photography business. Please see the link below to check out what she calls her photography habit that was amateur at 55. She's now 58.
Yeah.
And tell them what your mission is.
So, okay, well, I'll tell you how I got to this mission. So my first week in school, I decided to go on the weekends to the mountains. In Switzerland, you know, I live in the Swiss Alpine region, and the mountains are everywhere. So I went into the mountains and I was photographing, and I very quickly discovered that landscape photography would be my passion, and that's what I would pursue, was just a career in landscape photography. So I was constantly going into the mountains and taking pictures of the glaciers and the mountains in the Swiss Alps. And it was amazing. What I saw was unbelievably beautiful. But at the same time, on the flip side of the coin, was the devastation that I saw. The effects of climate change and global warming. I saw glaciers receding. I saw the scarring moraines, you know, the scars that the glaciers leave when they retreat in the valley, when they're melting for kilometers. I saw in the ski areas of Switzerland where, you know, in the winters when there's a lot of snow, they should be really busy and thriving, and St. Moritz and Pontresina and all of these very famous places, Verbier. There were winters where there was hardly any snow and guests weren't coming, and the entire industry was really suffering. So this was evidence that when I saw that with my own eyes, I couldn't unsee it. You know, I'm not the ostrich with my head in the sand with respect to that, where I just can unsee these things and these consequences. So then I have a very investigative mind, and I have a bit of an activist mentality, and I thought, well, if this is happening in Switzerland as a result of global warming and climate change, what's going on in the rest of the world? So last year I went to the Arctic and I saw what was going on there, and I went on an expedition. I found a very small boat with scientists and other photographers, and you know, I just put it out there, and I'm good at doing research, so I was able to find what I needed, and I went twice. And I was with these scientists who were explaining to me, you know, what was going on, and showing me the scarring moraines of the glaciers, showing me the calving and what was going on, and also talking about the ecosystem. One of the scientists is an ornithologist. He specializes in birds, and he was talking about the Brunick guillemot, which is the next bird on the, about to become extinct within the next 5 years, because right now these birds are having to fly to Greenland from Svalbard, which is 1,000 kilometers each way, to get the food. They feed off krill, and when there's not enough ice flows for them to get the krill, which sits underneath the edges of the ice flows, they have no food for their chicks. So now they're flying from Svalbard to Greenland, return 2,000 kilometers, and what's happening is sometimes the chicks are dying before they get back, the birds are dying in flight, and the whole ecosystem is connected. So when these birds are extinct, the Arctic fox will be suffering, because that's what the Arctic fox lives off of, and on it goes. So this is a chain and an ecosystem that is dependent on everything else in the whole chain. And so when I saw the devastation there, I'm documenting everything with my pictures. pictures, and I'm not a scientist, and what I see is the beauty. And I know that when I show my pictures and I show the beauty of what I see, enough for people to want to take it and hang it on their walls, because I sell my work as fine art, and I show and exhibit it. But when you, for example, if you took one of my pictures and loved it enough to hang it on your wall, that would indicate to me that you love the planet, that you love what you see, you love nature enough to maybe be committed to do something about it. And this is how I'm spreading my message. I've been guided. I mean, I consider myself at this point in time just a vessel and a conduit. I mean, this mission, I don't even cognizantly think about what I'm doing and what the next step is. I feel that I'm really being guided. So after the Arctic, I went to the Antarctic, because I had read that this Larsen Shelf, this huge ice shelf in the Antarctic, it's divided into A, B, C, D, and it's on the east side of the Antarctic Peninsula. Last July, the Larsen Sea Shelf broke away, massive ice shelf into the ocean, and it's 200 meters high, over 10 kilometers long, and this is really significant information. So as I'm being exposed to all of this, I think I feel committed to express to others, to share this information. I'm now going into schools, and I've got a whole keynote presentation. I have a video that I've made. I talk to children, and you know, I talk to elementary school, to high school, and I'm doing a TEDx next year in Canada, and I just want to get this message out. So I mean, getting back to our mission and our purpose in life, I have absolutely found my purpose, because it was intrinsically linked to my passion.
Yeah, and you can see and sense your passion just talking, and I just let you say all that, not just because I'd love everyone to know her work and be inspired to be the change in your community, in your home, with your family, but also to hear that, you know, just being a housewife is what society told us we needed to be. And in such a short time, and I'm not telling everyone leave their housewife position, I'm saying tap into your purpose and your passion, because your kids grow up and they need you to let them go so that they too can follow their purpose and passion. And when you give up yours and that's the model you set for them, what is that teaching them? I know my daughter is so proud of the work that I do.
Yeah.
She is beaming. Whereas my son didn't get that mother. My son got the mother that did everything, was everything to everyone except herself. So my kids have the very different mother, 9 years apart. And so I really want you, my audience, to hear, not only, this is not a selfish act. This is loving yourself enough. And when you do that, you set yourself free to be the change, not just in a small way in your home, for your kids to be seeing that purpose-driven life and that passion-filled life, and a happy mom who is not angry and resentful and bitter, but now look, she's doing her job to serve the planet in such a beautiful way. I cannot wait for you guys to see the photography that is our landscape of life, and the passion that she puts in it. It's just spectacular. So that really is the message.
Thank you so much. Well, it is, and I want to let you know that I still have children at home. In fact, my youngest is 13, my oldest is 17, and my 17-year-old goes to boarding school, but my 13-year-old still lives with me. So I try to make it work. You know, it's not that I'm completely free, but she goes to my ex-husband, to her father when I go on these trips, and he supports me because he sees that I'm really, I have a purpose and I have a mission, and I'm working, and I'm trying to create a life. And I think it's also a very good example, because for the years that I stayed home, you know, I was a full-time mother, and I was very involved in the family, and that also has value. I don't mean to diminish it at all.
Me either. But I'm still doing that.
Yeah, but ultimately I have more to offer, and I think it's really important for my girls to see that I can do more and that I'm contributing something. And you know, when we all have something that we're passionate about, and we all have hobbies, but if we are just still and sit with ourselves and question ourselves about what really makes us wake up in the morning, what really makes us work 12, 15 hours a day. When I'm on expedition, sometimes I'm shooting 18 hours a day. We have been shooting from midnight till 5 o'clock in the morning. We were watching a polar bear on a beached fin whale I can't remember which kind of whale it was, but the whale had been there for over a year, and we found him eating this whale on the side of a beach, and we were shooting him for 7-8 hours until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And I had no idea what time it was. I mean, it was one of those situations where you're so immersed in what you're doing, you're so fascinated by it that you have no idea of the concept of time. I had no idea what time it was. We got back to the main boat, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and all I wanted to do was download my photo so that I could see the images and experience again what I had just seen with my own eyes, and then get out and share that. That bear was on that whale because the bears don't have enough ice to go on right now to get the seals that they need to feed on, so they're scavenging, they're looking for everything, they're eating the eggs, they're going up to the colonies of the birds and they're stealing the eggs. That's not normally their diet, but they're just doing whatever they can. And so I think what the message here that we want to share is, find your passion, it will lead you to your purpose. And ultimately that's why we're here, isn't it? Because we all have a purpose and we all have a contribution to make to this planet and to make this world a better place. And I think when we find that, we're fulfilled, we can do our work, and we can leave an amazing legacy.
Yeah.
Right?
And you operate at a higher frequency, so everyone around you feels that, and they can rise up too.
Absolutely.
And
I think when you're operating at that frequency, it's a magnet. It's an absolute magnet. It's the power of the positive thinking. It's just it brings in everything. So I know that this works for you as well, but I really don't even have to go out anymore to get what I need. It all comes to me. And I'm organizing a big event next January. It's going to be an Art Meets Science Summit over 4 days. I have scientists involved. I'll be showing my work. We have talks, there's lectures, we have youth involved, schools are involved. A very well-known boarding school in Zuoz, the Lyceum, is involved. They're partnering with us and all of the lectures will be there. I put this idea out in around February, and I just put it out, and I slowly started working towards manifesting it. Like, I went to this climate change summit in Milan where I met one of the scientists who now is going to come on board and work with us. And so of course you have to be active in pursuing these goals and manifesting the intention of what you want, the abundance of what you want.
You have to take small actions, steps forward.
Exactly, but it's all...
and put it out there.
But it all then comes to you so easily.
It all lines up.
It all lines up.
When it's coming from a place of purpose and passion, and it's aligning with your soul's purpose, the doors open and everything lines up to serve the greater good.
Exactly. That's how the universe works. All the gifts are there and everything comes, and and that's why I feel that I'm really a conduit and just a vessel for this mission, because I have the voice, the time is right, I'm here, I can take a picture, it's all come
she
together.
She can take a picture.
It's all come together.
Well, Dawna, I love your passion, I love your purpose, I love your spirit, I love your energy, and I know that was captured on this video. You change, they change, and Dawna is opening up space for all of us to rise and be the change we wish to see in our world. So thank you, Dawna.
Thank you for having me here. It's been so wonderful. I just really appreciate you so much, and I resonated with you when we first met 4 months ago online, and it's just been a really amazing journey. And I think we can have this connection all over the world with people. We can rise up and we can create this global community, and in person or online, and we can really make a difference. So thank you for inviting me to do this interview.
And you know what? Anybody can do these little talks. If you have somebody that inspires you in your life, post it. We want to be inspired by other strong people that are leading the change. Change agents for love and above. So thanks you, Dawna.
For watching. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to send me a message, an email, whatever. I'm really would love to chat with people.
I will put all of Dawna's contacts and her website so you can go look at the beautiful landscape that we all should be seeing for years to come.
Hopefully. Let's hope that.
Thank you.
Thank you.